hold on. Yes, sir. Welcome to episode 196 of Candid Conversations. Today we feature the legend known as Exco Levi
Mhm.
on this early edition of Candid Conversations. How are you doing today, sir?
Good man, how are you?
I am as good as God intended.
Yeah, good thanks.
Yes, I.
Where
Just
are you
trying
from,
to.
guys?
Me, I'm in Welland, Ontario, Canada right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Like
yeah, yeah. Whereabouts are you now?
Brampton.
Brampton. Okay, okay. Um, Before we get into the questioning and all the et ceteras, I think your version of All Canada is the only version I've really heard that resonates the way it does. It doesn't sound so stiff and rigid. You know what I mean? It sounds like it embraces the true multicultural diversity of the country as opposed to just one aspect of it. And that's not to take away from the national anthem, but not everybody really ascribes to that one, anyways.
Hmm.
But what led you to write that version?
Well, music based on inspiration. I just came to Canada, and as I said, it's just expressing myself through music and melodies. You know what I mean? And just migrated to Canada and thinking about the situation
Hmm.
and thinking everything that happening. You know what I mean? So you just come from a divine inspiration based on what you were going through and what you were witnessing, migrating to a new land and a new ground. You know what I mean? So it's more
Hmm.
of
All
a
right. All right. Where'd you migrate from?
Jamaica, Manchester, Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Mm.
All right. Cool. 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 You said Manchester.
Yeah, Manchester, Jamaica.
Manchester. Now, I'm not really. I gotta get familiar with the lay of the land. But how close is Manchester to Portland or St. Mary?
Next end. That's at the next end of the island.
So Manchester's one side, and then
Yeah,
Portland's
Portland,
like,
the other side.
okay, okay. That's because that's where my parents are from. My mom's from St. Mary, and my dad's from Portland.
Okay.
Hmm. But truth is, as big as the island is, it comes in small sometimes.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I know people that. Okay, my dad told me he challenged me to go down there and ask anybody, and it wouldn't take me a day to find him. So I'd take a day to find someone that knows him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, it's like, and my brother did it too. So it's different. But what do you notice is the biggest difference in the culture between Jamaica and Canada,
Well,
or even
the biggest difference is Canada is a multicultural. Jamaica does Jamaican people and a couple Indians. You know what I mean? And a couple maroon, but it's
Mhm,
different. Canada have many different races that live here. You know what I mean?
mhm, mhm. Yeah, true, true. Um, no, I'm just looking at a couple of things here. We're just rearranging some stuff here, and I'm just overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that have happened in the last week. But I was told that you had a busy, busy schedule yourself. So what do you got on your agenda coming up?
Well, I released the album in February by Penthouse Record. You know, what I mean, we're actually touring the album now. I mean, I
Okay.
just returned from the US. Monday, I did a festival in New Jersey called the Lionheart Music Festival. You know, what I mean,
Hmm.
next week I'll be in Windsor, Ontario, right at the waterfront there. And I mean, for a festival called Carousel of Nation Festival. And then on the 29th, I'm doing Brampton 50th celebration here in Brampton. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then I'm leaving to Europe. I'm going to Denmark. I'm going to Finland. So a lot of shows coming up.
Yeah, you know what I appreciate. I appreciate the character because you said it all humble, like everybody's flying to Denmark and Europe right now. Like,
Huh?
I said I appreciate how humble you were when you said that you're flying out to these places, but like these are these big things.
But I've been touring Europe from 2013. I've been to Europe many times, all
Okay,
over.
okay, okay. Where's your favorite spot in Europe to tour to?
Well, my favorite place that I've toured to, I would say Africa. You know what I mean? Zimbabwe, Malawi.
Okay.
But in Europe, there's so much place in Europe. I don't remember the amount of place I've been in Europe. I've been to probably 10 different countries in Germany only. I've been to Norway, I've been to Finland, I've been to Czech Republic, I've been to, Denmark before. You know what I mean? I've been to Dubai. So there's so much place. I've done on that side I've been before. Austria, you know what I mean, to name a few. So it's hard to pinpoint a specified area in Europe that I really enjoy. You know what I mean? Because it's the same people, same demographic.
Okay. Okay. I guess another question is, how do you find yourself with these opportunities? Like, how do you find that these opportunities present themselves? I know it's hard work and dedication, but um what, like, do you have an agent? Are these things that you seek out yourself, or
No, I don't have a agent. Music is the agent, man. Once you do good music, and you know the folk community. Sorry, we can curse on the program.
yeah, yo man, this is why I'm on the internet.
Yeah, yeah. So once you know the folk
I,
community, once you do good music, that's your agent. You know what I mean? So as I said,
hmm
2013, I've been traveling all over the world, and it's because of the music that I've sing. You know what I mean? Because I don't sing foolishness. I don't sing song telling anybody to shoot anybody or discriminating women or telling people to bleach. I don't sing those kind of music because any music me I sing, my kids are supposed to can listen to it. You know what I mean? And
I
when me long gone, it's supposed to still play like Bob Marley song. Them. You know what I mean?
mm,
Yeah.
uh,
So
I
that's my agent, music.
I think the first time I came across a song by you, it must have been a collaboration with Neto Youth.
Yeah. That's just the
Yeah,
other day.
come
That is just
again?
the other, that is just the other day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that was, but for me, that was a couple of years ago. You know what I mean?
How long
So,
do you live in London?
oh man, I started my podcast 8, 9 years ago. Bumped into Anthony. That must have been four or
And you
five
live in
years
London?
ago.
You live in London?
Huh?
And you live in
Me?
London? Mm-hmm.
No, I live in Welland, Niagara area.
Okay. We come to
Yeah.
perform in London all the time. The biggest reggae festival keep in London is the Sumfest. I did it twice. I've performed on that side many times.
Well, you need to come to Niagara ways, fam. We need to bring you Niagara ways and get them out here knowing you more.
Yeah, I've never did a major performance in Niagara before.
See, that's the thing. Niagara doesn't really have like it. I don't want to sound like I'm sussing the place, but in the 12 years I've been out here, it hasn't had it hasn't embodied the culture the way it could. We'll say, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? A lot of things are changing now. This year we have the second annual Afro Caribbean Festival. That's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be something that, you know what I mean, that shows the people that we're out here and making noise. But for you to say, is there for you to ask if there's a reggae bar out here or somewhere where you can go and just know like 9 times out of 10 you're gonna hear reggae music, it might be one place in St. Catharines, and even that is not even running right now.
Yeah.
So, but it's crazy because there was a time where all you could hear was reggae. Like, I mean, late '80s, early '90s, even into 2000. Everywhere you go is a bashment and it's a reggae music playing. Now it's just some, oh gosh,
Yeah.
I don't even want to put a word to it. You know what I mean? I don't want to put a word to it because it's not going to be a nice word. So, what do you think? What do you see as like a way to shift the focus? How would you shift the focus back to the conscious reggae?
But the conscious reggae never gone nowhere because regardless of who said they're running the place, YG Marley come the other day and it's the only song in the last 6, 7 years from Jamaica that went number one and went in on the Billboard. The reggae don't
Mhm.
go no reggae does they have reggae can't dead. You know what I mean? As I
Let
said,
me rephrase.
God all the artists out there who said them I run the
Mhm.
place and it's Kabaka Pyramid who won the Grammy. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? Let's have a crack. I just came from the US just now. show full of
Hmm.
people. Watch Romein perform in Philadelphia Sunday night and it ram. So reggae don't go nowhere. You know what I mean?
So, so why do you think they promote hip hop and that lifestyle more than they promote reggae then?
Where? In where? Where?
In the media, in just in the media as a general,
Jamaican media or world media?
world media, because Jamaican media obviously shows like what's going on in reggae, but like in world
Well,
media,
you have to
what?
understand. You have to understand. So we are living in a world right now where if you speak the truth, or if you, nothing conscious is not relevant to people who don't have a conscious mind. You know what I mean? So reggae is the kind of music where I talk about the issues and suffering people and poor people and unification. They don't want to put that, if you sing about bend down and skin out and but guess what? Somewhere out there, because guess what? When you go to as I said, I just did a festival in New Jersey, all white
Hmm.
reggae band. All me and Michael Rose was the only black act on it, and it's a 2 day festival. All white reggae band. And guess what? Each of those band have their merch stand where they're selling t-shirts and selling CDs, and white people are going to go buy it from them. Reggae. You know what I mean? You don't see that nowhere in dancer. No,
Mm.
you can tell it now. Beresford Amman bust from in the 80s. And when he came to Canada the other day, it's 2 nights the show keep. So me no need to explain it better. Beres Amman come to Canada and him show keep 2 nights.
Mm.
That to show you that the demand for reggae music and the love for reggae music can't go nowhere. Because Beres Amman
You're right.
bust back baby. And him come to Canada and him do have a new song and him perform 2 nights straight. Sold out 2 nights.
And wasn't it only supposed to be one show, and they demanded that he come back for a second?
Yeah, okay. So what that so that tells me
Okay,
everything.
all right, all right.
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah, there's a general misconception then.
yeah, it
Cause
is.
these are questions that I've been asked, so I figured I'd put them to you because you deal with
No,
it on a day to day. You know what I mean?
a misconception because who win the Grammy? Kabaka. And I can bet you right now, you cannot repeat three of the song of Kabaka album. Probably not even one you don't know.
Red, gold, and off his album. Off his
Yeah.
album. Okay,
Probably you know Red,
I
Gold,
know
and Green.
red, gold, and green. I know contraband, and you're right. I
No,
can't say the third one. I know it, but I
Contraband was
can't call the title.
Contraband was on the older album.
Okay, so then I can't.
See? But it win the Grammy.
No.
So what I
This is
so
refreshing. This is good.
the real consumer of the music is reggae them love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true, true.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Well, I stand corrected. Or the people asking the question stand corrected. So now here's a question. What kind of music, what genre of music would you do that no one would expect you to do?
Me, the genre of music is not the problem for me, content. So regardless of the genre, once it's speaking life and speaking upfulness and speaking, I I will do it. I don't have, you know what I mean? I only choose a
Okay,
genre. Genre is okay for me once it's along my line, you know what I mean?
okay, okay. All right. That's that's a good interesting perspective. Okay. Um, so what was your first experience with music?
My first experience with music,
Yeah.
well, just like probably 90% of musicians growing up in church and playing keyboard and you know what I mean, used to enter festival. When I go all at school, used to beat on the benches, them and sing those old nigga spiritual songs, you know
Mm,
what I mean? That's where the love came from, you know what I mean?
yeah. Okay. All right. Now you said you just released an album in February.
Yeah, it started Born to be Free.
Born to be
This,
free.
yeah, the story is by Penthouse Record, Donovan Jermaine, Penthouse, Jamaica.
All right. How many albums? How many tracks are on the album?
15.
15. Okay. All right. Now, what would you say is the track, oh, the sleeper track, the track that you put something into that you have to listen to hear for? I don't know,
Uh,
like I hear your music. Trust me, I hear your music. So I asked that question specifically because there's something in everything that you say. There's a lesson in every track. But which track would you? Huh?
all of them.
All of, he said all of them. Yo, you're real, man. You're too real. You're too real. Um. All right. All right. Can't bounce back from that one. That's the next one. Okay. So, Born to Be Free, brought to you by Exco Levi. You know what I mean? Dropped on all streaming platforms. I'm reasoning. Make sure
Mhm.
you get that. Candid Conversations is brought to you in part by StreamYard, as well as the Village Global Network, Expose the North, and Culture Shock Enterprises. We go there and beyond. We are the product. You are in the mix. Come get your fix at Culture Shock Radio, Zeno.fm/CULCHASHOCKRADIO, Culture Shock Radio. We are monitored by Online Radio Box. Check the replay next week on Wednesday at 8 a.m. on Culture Shock Radio on Zeno.fm. But now we're at about the halfway mark of the segment. So this is where I like to flip the script. And when I flip the script, I give the guests the opportunity to say what they may have to say or ask any questions they may have in order to further open the conversation. So, Exco Levi, you have the floor as I flip the script.
So you want me to interview you now? That's what
Or
you're saying?
no, if there's anything you have to say that you know what I mean I might not have touched base on yet,
Well,
or
as I said, we're touring the album now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We have a lot of shows coming up. I have my own festival. It's titled High Priest Music Festival. It's happening on September 6th at the JCA, the Jamaica Canadian Center in Toronto. And this is the second annual. You know what I mean? Last year we
Okay.
did it. You know what I mean? And this year is the second year. This year we have in Fantan Moja, we have in Ibamar, we have in Steel, we have in ISOS, and a whole long line of Canadian artists at the 6th of September at the JCA. Tickets are
Hmm.
out now on all digital and ticketgateway.com. You know what I mean? So that's September 6th, Friday, September 6th at the JCA. And I started this festival last year, was the inaugural, in the tribute to my late manager, Denise Jones, who's a stalwart guru in this music industry. She's the one who she managed me for 15 years, but she passed away in 2022. So I did this festival in her honor. You know what I mean? So
Uh,
you guys go check that out.
well, sorry to hear that, and nice to see that you turned something tragedy into triumph.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. See, and it's something that I would have never got the opportunity to talk about if I didn't flip the script. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there we go. There we go. All right. Now, what would you say to you, like your past self 10 years ago? Like, if there's any one piece of advice you could give yourself, what would it be?
Well, I think mm, I have no regrets. You know what I mean? As I said, we're chatting on a journey where we take the wrong turn and correct ourselves. Because life is trial and error, you know? You know what I mean? Is try and fail and get up again. So I don't have
Hmm.
no regret about my life. You know what I mean? Me just know say all of the mistakes them and all the flaws and all the errors that I've made is what for me to learn. You know what I mean? Because not everything I come from book to you or in a
Hmm.
movie. It's experience is really wisdom teacher. You know what I mean? So sometimes that's if
Yes.
I'm gonna say if I'm gonna say just don't go around the corner because I mean you may knock your foot on the chair. You probably
Mm.
don't believe him until you actually go around there and you knock your foot and say, what, you know? You tell me. So life is
Hmm.
really trial and error for me. So every day we keep learning, keep evolving and learning from our mistake and try on. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I have no
I
regret.
hear that.
No say all of my mistakes that I've the 10 years ago and beyond was just for me to learn. You know what I mean? Because no one is not really my enemy and no one is not my friend. Everyone is my teacher. You know what I mean? So we learn every day and we learn from people.
Okay, that's an interesting philosophy because I know that everybody knows something I don't know, and I know something that everybody doesn't know. But
Yes.
everyone is my teacher is a new philosophy that
Mhm.
I'm trying to wrap my head around, because some people do some, well, then again, if they're doing ignorant shit and you don't want to do it, then don't do it, and that's the lesson.
Yeah.
uh,
As I said
I like
again, no one is not your enemy and no one is not your friend. Everyone is a teacher. You learn even for your kids. Even your kids,
I,
because they do something every day that they say, I never know that could happen. You know what I mean? So you have to just learn
yep.
from good and bad. And it's not everybody's gonna be good. You learn because guess what? Light, you can never witness light without darkness. That means darkness is as utmost important as light. Because the place of the dark, you see light coming shining through.
Mm-hmm.
So darkness is as important as light, you know what I mean? Because
Because
without
without
dark,
one,
you never have light.
yeah, this
So
is true. Huh. These are the wise words of Exco Levi. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here on episode 196 of Candid Conversations, and we are going over some of life's philosophies and how to maintain a stable mentality in a crazy world. So,
yes.
like, what is it that you like? Do you have like a pre-performance ritual that you do? Like, is there anything that you set aside before? Like, is there any time you set aside before you go on stage to do any particular regimen?
I wouldn't say regiment, but you're going on stage, so you have to, before you enter the stage, you have to study the crowd, study the energy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And for me, you have to concentrate on the lines, remembering, you have to try to remember everything you rehearse in rehearsal with your band. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So if you did
Hmm.
something else, so when I'm going on stage, most of the thing that in my mind, you know what I mean, how to connect with these people. You're backstage, you're
Hmm.
looking at the show, then you're wondering, okay, all right, this is the kind of people, because you're gonna have different kind of audience. You're gonna have a audience who they don't make noise, but they're a listening audience. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so you will up on stage and think you're not doing well, but at the end of your song, them give you a clap. You know what I mean? And when the show finished, them will come to you and tell you, say, you did well. You know what I mean? And even though they wasn't making any noise, because not every audience is gonna be vibrant and noisy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Silence. You can listen to silence and learn from it. So some people
Sound
just
speaks.
attentive and I listen to what you're saying. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
basically, those are the things that go through my mind before entering the stage. Thinking about the audience, how am I going to connect with these people? What kind of crowd is it? You know what I mean? And
Okay.
also concentrated on the preparation that you made in rehearsal with your band to do the performance.
Hmm.
Yeah, because
Okay.
to stand on stage and sing for an hour and remember in 15, 20 songs, three verses, bridge, and transition and thing, it's a lot, you know what I mean?
It is. It is. I remember I did an audition one time, and they're looking for someone to sing for. It was a death metal band at the time. I was just exploring my musical options, and the man said, "Okay, here," and he put on a half an hour of music, and he wanted to hear what I'd come up with for that half an hour. I'm
Mhm.
sitting here having a conversation with them while I'm freestyling and still talking. I'm just like, I don't even know if I did what you wanted me to do, but here it is, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just what comes out natural ends up being good enough.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, it's, but yeah, no, I'm serious about bringing you down to Niagara sometime. I know you
Yeah.
gotta.
Set it up and link, man. You have the number now.
Yes, I for sure. Cause yeah, I like. Then I'm telling you, man. My grandmother used to do a folk arts festival out here, and it was full of like fire breathers and limbo dancers and all of that stuff and things that were true to the culture. And haven't seen nothing like that since she's passed. So I feel like my mom asking me twice in 2 years if it's happened. It's almost like it's my responsibility to make it happen.
Yeah.
So, hmm hmm so yeah, we'll talk and we'll see what we can make happen. But that would definitely be something to have you be a part of if it fits your schedule and the conditions.
Come on, just let me
Yes,
know when.
sir. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, more power to you still. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Like I said, your music has it has a vibe. I don't know how to say it other than that. It's just there's something uplifting about it. There's something very true to it.
Thanks,
You know
man.
what I mean? I'm glad that it's some of the music that I have in my catalog because if I need to play something conscious to transition to something, I know I can throw one of those in there. Even yeah, man. So that's big. But I could use some more because if you're telling me you've been performing from time and a half, and I only have music from time, then I need to get the other half.
All right, send me an email. Send us some song.
All right, cool,
All right, bless up.
cool. Bless up, King. We've been talking to Exco Levi, the first guest on the triple header of Candid Conversations. Bless up, King. Do your thing. Now we got another guest, Alex M.
Which
Alex Myers.
whose camera is having an issue.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
It's all good.
bear with me. One sec.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's try this. There we go. Okay.
Yeah,
Technological.
I can't. Now, is there a chance that your camera's open in another application? Oh wait, hold on.
First one. There you go.
There we go. There we go.
Hello.
Oh no. Hi. Literally just a piece of meat and cheese. I don't want to ruin my appetite, but I'm getting a little hungry. I got my stage manager in the kitchen right now. This is what makes the conversations candid, ladies and gentlemen. You never know what's going to happen. All right, now, Alex, I don't want to mess up how you pronounce your last name, so if you could tell the people what it is.
Maras.
See, I was gonna say it all Canadian English, like, um,
You can say it in many ways. Maras. It works in many ways.
yeah,
Ironically,
but if you see in Canadian, it would have been morass, right?
yes. But
But if I said what's your the country of origin, like your
see, that's an interesting part of it. My grandfather would have said
yeah,
it Maras because of the slang, because of the dialect where we came from, which is just across Venice there. Um,
okay,
but then it mutates. Like someone else comes to power, and the power changes, and you get a new some people got a new surname in the process. So doesn't
okay.
matter as long as you know you could go with bro. That works.
Honestly, with the nature of what you've been doing, I would not have assumed you would have been as laid back as you are.
Oh,
I wish I was able to attend the virtual event, but I had a tour scheduled around the same time. But if you could let the people know what you have been doing.
uh, okay. So I am the leader of an initiative or a few initiatives that led by my non-for-profit organization that I started, that founded. We're trying to change outlooks, improve outcomes and outlooks. We believe that everyone can reinvent themselves endlessly. That you stumble, you fall, just get up, and
Hmm.
here's a hand. Let's just do it. And the next day, the next turn, the next step, you're back straight, and no one knows what happened three steps uh, ago. So what we're doing is we are enabling um, individuals and organizations to thrive by providing smart tools, by if they need means, if they need. So you name it, we'll get it for you. We're consultants. We are um, techies. We are whatever you need us to be. So we're there. We're partners. We're supporters. Um, because we believe, we feel, and
Hmm.
we've been uplifted like that. So we're like, we said let's make it our core business now. You know, it's gonna take some time until it grows like that, but you know, why sell candies if all you get is like toothaches? Why not make it a business, uh, helping people, helping organizations, because that's also something you can charge for, um, but just in a different way. So we fundraise. If you are an organization and you're not using your website, or you don't have a website, or you're not using it to full potential, we're gonna fundraise for it. We're going to find an investor who's going to donate, because you're a non-for-profit organizations. That needs to be said. So we help individuals and non-profit. It's not a commercial activity, and so we fundraise. We make it happen. We teach you how to use it and set you up for success, and then make sure to check back on you uh, uh, every here and there to see if you're doing well. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, it
Awesome.
does. So, what inspired you to do this?
The little advice, the little pushes, the little mechanisms that my mentors taught me. So as I was going from battle to battle, there was always this nice person who I affiliated with, or you know, someone adopts you, so to speak. Someone takes you under their wing, in the sense that they're not just going to let you try 10 times. They're going to tell you, okay, in order to make that task successful, you need to, you know, change your position and just approach it from a different angle, and suddenly you're successful at it, right? So these, I call them magicians, mentors, and that's what we want to do. We want to institutionalize that, so you know, for young people to know that there's just a few uh, little habits, a few steps that you need to do in order to achieve something, and then that something brings you to the next one, and that's fulfilling, that's motivating, and
Mm.
that's the message we're trying to transmit. It's there. You can reinvent yourself. You can wake up tomorrow and play that other role, and then the next day play another one.
Hmm. That's an interesting way to look at life.
Thank you.
Oh man. So, what advice would you give to someone starting their business?
Start.
Like, what? Okay.
Yes, so start. So don't start from scratch. Someone's done it before. That's something that I was trained on by you know, they call themselves best of the breed. They say never start from scratch. So someone has done it. So there's documents somewhere on Google, there's a business plan, a list of things that needs to be done, and idea, you know, a business plan, a product design or something. So don't start from scratch. Don't invent, you know, the four walls, the tiles, the door, the knob. It has all been invented. So just rent a room. There you go. Like, yeah, it's an investment,
Mm.
but you got to start. So just go out there and start. If you cannot rent that room, do it in the marketplace, do it in the parking lot, but don't wait for stars to align, for everything to get ready, to have the investment, to have the staff, to have all the tools. It's never gonna be perfect. Just
Okay.
a little thing.
So you're never gonna have the perfect conditions, so you might as well learn to work with the conditions as they are.
Yeah, and just do a little step every day, a little step, and then in 10 days you're going to be 10 step closer, as opposed to, okay, I should still do those 10 steps, but I don't have what's necessary. So like it's not setting yourself up for success. It's like, I'm going to do that little step. I'm going to get that done today, that permit,
Hmm.
that little call to someone who has done it before, that little tool that I can borrow from someone, friend, and just make it
Mm.
happen.
Okay. All right. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. I mean, after coming off of this tour that we just did, the 3-day tour, touching down in St. Catharines, Welland, and London, I mean, the most success came when I was just, like, as I reflect on it, when I was just doing. Like, I just focused on getting what I needed to get done, and did it. And there was no kind of hurdles or hesitations, and any hurdles that presented themselves, they were easily overcome because I already had the momentum from doing. The hurdles and obstacles seem to be more vast when you're not in motion because they pile up in front of you. But when you're actually in motion, you can maneuver and you can adjust accordingly. I like the way this conversation's going. It's opening my eyes to my capacities. Um,
Yeah,
so
that's
what's
a great that's a great motto. GSD, get stuff done.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the way it's got to be. And I mean, like the amount of things that I've had to do. Like I said, if you were to tell me last year at any point in time that I'd be doing everything that I'm doing this year, I might scoff at you. You know
So
what I mean?
that's exactly. I was talking to a few people today because there was this event today,
Hmm.
big event, and then a few work things piled up, and then this interview piled up unannounced, and then in between there was another meeting, and so we were just saying everything is happening at the same time. Not like
Hmm.
it's not gonna be like, oh, lay back, we're gonna call you to make that progress whenever you're ready or whatever. No, everything has to happen. You have to wake up. You have to sleep those few hours less and grind those few hours more. And
Hmm.
as you said, you're hungry because you didn't eat. You didn't eat because you didn't have time to eat because you were grinding, right? I get it. But
Exactly. Exactly. It's one of those sleep and food are two of those things that I manage to sacrifice when it comes to like getting things done. And I don't mind because I catch up to my sleep and I catch up to my food when time comes. But when you think about it, it's like, but those two, like food, definitely you need to fuel yourself. Sleep is arbitrary, I think.
eh,
Like
I'll tell you, in
real.
consulting, it's done like if you're a very good horse. So you got to get the best food, the best rest, the best, you got to eat nutty, less fatty food. You got to eat fruit, you got to eat yogurt, you got to exercise, you got to sleep a lot. And then
Mm,
you wake up in the morning and you're that machine ready to go and kill or whatever, do the business. I don't mean in a bad way, but like execute,
mm,
like so there's, as you said, GSD. So you have a plan and you get up and you're rested and
mm,
you're like in ready to go, and you just execute one, two, three, four, and
mm,
yeah. So it's everything is actually in exercise, in training, in habit. That's what they're saying. And if you think about it, like people who get up at 5, 6 in the morning and go exercise, don't go back to bed until noon, and smoke joints. They go on with their days, and they
mm.
get things done, right?
Mhm. It's very true. It's very true. I always try to tell my daughter the key to maintaining successful business is minding her own. But in these kinds of situations, it's like, getting information from other people might help improve your business as well.
It's time saved, right? And money.
Hmm.
If you can learn from other people's mistakes, um, you don't do them yourselves. But it isn't always that simple, right? There's struggle. There's this internal. There's fog. There's not knowing, and that's another stream of our business is empowered by educating. So just telling someone that there's this little system, because a lot of people suffer from conditions, OCD, whatever, some form of ADHD, very very mild. You don't know it's there. It's not a disease. It's not a condition. It's not a, but it's holding you back. So for someone,
Mm-hmm.
focusing is much easier than for someone else. They don't know. For some people, it's a struggle. They sit down and they take 10 minutes to focus on what's on the screen. They have to reread one page 7 8 times in order to get
Mm-hmm.
the so we're not all in the same starting position. That's a very known fact. But it's about having faith, being persistent, and yes, getting the right advice, getting that little tool, the tidbit. Clean the table before you start. Right? Don't work on a messy table. Just clean it and such. That changes the outcome. That changes the outlook very much.
Man, that was an interesting set of circumstances. Oh, sorry. I just heard something in the background. Okay. It looks like you're enjoying the weather outside.
Yeah, I was wondering like where I'm gonna stand for this interview and like uh, inside, dark, whatever, quiet, yeah. But like there's this patio,
Yeah,
sunshine. Why not enjoy?
yeah. It has a really executive look to it. I'm sitting here like I got this green screen behind me. It's not even, I don't got nothing on it. It's just a green screen. But, you know what I mean?
I,
But
I was
like,
gonna I was gonna say is that some sort of protest or something? Is it press
no,
button?
no. You know what? I'm still learning. I'm just new to this program. So I am still learning some of the
Okay,
things. Like, for example, I should be doing that. Like, this is candid conversations, not the Terrell effect. There's one thing there that I should have done different.
yeah.
um, I got this video background. Hold on, let's try this video background and see what it does. Oh, that's for there. Okay. Yeah, no.
So
Yeah, so I'm still learning the ins and outs of StreamYard. I've been using I used another program for the longest time, and some of my associates, I was the last of I think 25 associates to go from Restream to StreamYard. I was stubborn because I had a contract with them or I had an arrangement with them, but then the arrangement fell through and I wasn't able to access my account for a week.
okay,
So I said, okay, you know what? I see what you're trying to do here, and I'm not letting it happen. I just jump ship.
that's every change is a good change if you make it good.
This is true. This is
Um,
true.
Speaking of technology, there is always a video about it. Google it, Google stuff. People like, especially now with this, and that was a topic of today's uh, event. Was
Yeah,
one of the topics was artificial intelligence and how to leverage it in everyday use. It can save you time. It can these little imagine having this guy that knows a bunch of stuff. So you're going through your day like, oh, I need to do that, and he says like, well, just do this and that, and that's like 5 minutes. Okay, thank you.
I'm that. I'm that guy usually.
Yeah. So then so then they move to the next task, and like, okay, there's like one screw, and that's fixed, but you don't know it's behind that little that little barrel, and so you tell it how to do it, but you're not there. Google
Yep,
Gemini is there. So it's on your phone. You ask it, how do I fix my, shaver? Or I broke the knob. What do I do? Like, ask it literally these kind of questions, but also write me an email. How do I address, the property board? How do I get that interview? This all there.
Ah,
It's like your own personal teacher. Uh, on a push of a button. How do I write an email to a lawyer, like in order to gain their attention, right? In a specific
it's,
way.
see,
Such stuff.
see, I used it the other day. I admittedly because I could write about just about anything or anybody, but I had a hard time writing about myself. So I was there and I was like, okay, let me try to write something. And I had the pen in my hand and I'm just looking at the paper. And then I had to submit it for because I was getting a promotion. So I was like, I wanted to talk about myself, but I didn't want to sound too overinflated or anything like that. So I did what you suggested. You know what I mean? I went to an AI and I said, okay, I typed David Tyrell, culture shock, expose the North. And what it brought back to me from what I've done online, like if people thought the same way about me that the AI did, I wouldn't have a lot of my insecurity issues. I'll just tell you that much.
You definitely don't project insecurity. You radiate. I would say all the opposite. You radiate. You seem relaxed. You seem pretty sure of yourself. I You gotta kind of tackle that. You gotta set your mindset for success. Today, I'm not gonna be insecure. I'm gonna play the role. I'm gonna be the most secure guy out there. Although you can tell yourself it can be a surgeon like that. It's not gonna work. But if you live like that every day, you're gonna become that surgeon because after it takes 18 days to form a habit, they say, psychologists say. So if you do something for 18 days, you're going to get in the habit of it and it's not going to be hard anymore. So, you know, thinking of yourself as not as insecure or thinking of yourself as a different, profession or with different outcome. It's just one day away, one little decision away.
So 21 days it becomes a habit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are at about the halfway mark of this segment, and this is when I like to flip the script. When I flip the script, I like to get the guests to become the host and ask whatever questions they may have or speak any piece they might have. So, Alex, it is your turn uh, as to take the floor as we flip the script.
Okay. So I get to ask you tough questions.
Any questions you got?
What will you have done in 3 years that's going to be the most significant to your personal development that your listeners might benefit from hearing it now?
I want to say become the mayor of the city I live in.
There we go. I
Yeah.
guess you as a mayor, it
Hmm.
would fit you. And they could use some of this laid back style and chill. That's
Yeah.
pretty. So, what was the biggest obstacle for when you were transitioning from that young person, which someone is young at 18 and 16, but someone is also young at 27. Not
Hmm.
many people, not all the people bloom at the same time. That's also something to take in consideration when young people are listening. You want to see someone doing it all even though they're your age and you're not there yet. You're gonna get there. Just keep on the sunny side of the street and keep doing it every day.
Okay.
So what was the revelation for you? When was that moment? How did it happen? How did you realize I have it in
When
me?
when I was approached by other people asking me about things that I kind of dismissed. There's one situation involving my music career where I went to a party and I was freestyling, and then when I went back to work a couple days later, they were still talking about the freestyle. There was one situation where I told the office of the premier that the prime minister at the time was going to be removed from his position, and before the Pan Am Games, and that happened. So when it happened, they said, "Wow." What did they say? They basically said something along the lines of, "I'm a man of my word," but they kind of they kind of said I should run for office since I was that effective in my course of action.
Yeah.
And then there was another time where I actually changed legislation
Wow.
and had it acknowledged. So those three scenarios right there are kind of like why I feel like I have the capacity to garner the attention required to make the necessary change to improve the quality of life. But it's just a lot of people don't believe it until it happens, kind of thing.
Self
And
doubt. Yeah.
yeah, and I have where most people have self-doubt, I have a belief beyond belief. Like I believe beyond like if believing is 10, then I'm at 15. You know what I mean? I go there and beyond. That's my company mantra. And I got to take a moment to congratulate one of the producers I work with, DUI, on having his third grandchild. Wait,
Congratulations.
wait, does that mean you're free June 29th for the cult? Oh wait, July 1st for the Culture Shock Community Cookout? Because we have a location for it. It's gonna be disclosed in a few weeks. But yeah, we got the Culture Shock Community Cookout. It's gonna be litty. We got a backyard for this party. It's in the city of Welland.
Are you
Ugh.
asking me, or are you just talking still about your friend?
This is a general comment. I
Okay.
transition into those every now and again, segments and
We
commercials
invite
and
you.
stuff like
We have
that.
to come to Welland on the 1st of July.
Hey, if you want to come down, you're more than welcome. We are no strangers to having people from out of town come down here. Like we like to party.
Definitely, we
We
are
like to
part.
celebrate. We
Definitely.
like to. All
But
right, there you go.
anyway, you should let us know when you're coming east, and we'll make things happen here. Arrange a
Uh,
date
where in the east are you?
wherever you need me.
the,
but
the mark of a true businessman.
yeah, I'm in Durham. In Durham, because after COVID, it didn't make too much sense. And traffic wise, logistic wise, it's interesting. Like just like that little part of the universe where you are, it's a
Yep.
pretty cool area. If you hadn't, if you shouldn't have to pass through Hamilton for it, it would be great. And all that stuff. Uh,
Oh man, it's
traffic
true.
wise, just traffic wise, I love Hamilton. Don't get me wrong.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
and no, so definitely, we should somehow have some more these golden horseshoe stuff, more networking, more events, cooperation of some sort. Because here we are on the same frequency, wanting we want things to happen. Why not do it together?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I do have. I don't have your contact information as yet, but we do have a common associate, a common friend, by the way of Sasha Stoltz. So I got to shout out Sasha Stoltz
Ah,
Publicity for
yes,
bringing us together. You know what I mean?
such as yeah.
That
What?
lady is she's something special. I'm telling you, she's got me
Yeah,
in a position
she's a rock.
where she's a rock star. I never thought I'd like again this interview. Like these are interviews that okay, these are interviews that are made possible by just having an open mind and reaching out to people that are doing the same like similar things. So like,
True.
why not?
True, Sasha is very talented, and has the feel. She does feel. As far as my contacts go, bobisyouruncleca, and you'll find me there.
Bob is your uncle.ca.
Yeah, that should be easy to remember.
Bob is your uncle.ca. I'm gonna go there right now.
Yeah, right now there's an invite to today's event, which is going to become something else tonight. But it's the website of the non for profit, which is called Savant.
Okay. So okay, I see it now. All right. Let me check that out. I'll send contacts.
So I will
Yes.
just use the opportunity. Um, if you or your listeners or anyone else know an organization or an individual that could benefit from, you know, a new website, some computers, whatever is going to make them get ahead, let us know. We'll fundraise for it.
Okay.
and make it happen. Installed turnkey.
All right, that sounds good. I just sent you an email
Awesome.
through the website. It is my website. My contact information is at the bottom of it. The website is sharethishock.ca, where you get the latest from the soon to be greatest. It could change your playlist or your status. Be
Right.
sure to check it out.
Sounds
Um, we do have another guest in the green room.
so
Is Doug Knight.
how long do you do this? You have a good stamina there.
Well, this is the first triple header I've done in a couple of years now, but I usually go for an hour. This episode is going to be about an hour and a half. It's going to be 30-minute segments. But if you don't mind, I could bring them on right now and we could chop it up
Absolutely.
amongst the three of us.
More than
All
merry.
right.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go.
Hey,
Doug
gentlemen.
Knight of CrossEyeComics Comics. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
See, I want my background to look like your background. My background's
It's
just boring.
it's good when it's functional, but then there's like times where you cut out, or you try to show something, and then it all like slices away. So
Yeah, I know. It's true, but the way yours is, right? I don't know if you actually have a green screen on yours, but yours looks crisp, bro.
yeah.
It look, holy. Okay, so we're talking to Alex Maras. Um, from what it sounds like, I mean, between the businesses, the three of us might stand to do some work together.
Absolutely.
I just caught the tail end there. You is it that you're raising funds to help advance people with tech opportunity?
Yeah. Any well, usually no, any non-profit organizations that struggle with any, their, you name it, business operations or technical operations, we can walk in. We have partner consultants who do it pro bono and make things happen.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, yeah. Telling you. So, finally we got together on this. I know we've had to reschedule a couple of times because of the jugglings. Um, but yeah, met another person I met because of Sasha Stoltz. We met at Daddy O's album release party. Yeah,
Yes, that's correct.
yeah, and we're here just chopping it up. So we were there chopping it up. Listen. And yeah, I noticed there were some things that you're doing that I wanted to incorporate in the magazine, and like I wanted to talk about that. We could talk about that off camera, but just know that I was impressed with your work and the style of it. It's not like I don't know how to put it to words,
Looks like a
which is with that's no, it's impressive because I talk for a living. So if I can't find the words for it, it's really unique. And I'm not so like I have an idea and I need someone who is skilled in animation to make it happen. I don't want to say it online because people might take it and run with it.
I feel
But
you. The
it's
robots
a
are
fun.
listening.
Exactly, man. I'm telling you, listen, by the time we're done this conversation, we'll go to Facebook and at least one of the things we talked about will appear in our timeline within the next hour. Am I wrong?
No, you're
No,
right.
not at all.
Some of them
Yeah,
might be useful as well, eh?
sometimes.
Yeah,
Everybody's complaining about it, but sometimes you get useful suggestions there too.
it's true. I leave my location services on. Okay, I leave my location services on just to mess with them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You wanna know where I'm at? Okay, cool. What
I
interesting
feel
thing are you
like
gonna put?
fighting any of the like the stuff that you can't control is such a futile effort that like it's wasted negativity. You know, when you get people that are so bummed out about the robots reading your mind and all that stuff, but it's like realistically, we're just happy existing. So if they want to send me 50 ads for pop sockets and website design, then go for it.
I keep getting SEO stuff for my SEO. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you? Why are all of you like? How do you say your last name? First of all, secondly, how are you sending me SEO stuff from like somewhere in the world I've never interacted with? This is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, but we also have to demystify a little bit this big data and all this, them being nosy. So they're not interested in you, like in you, John Wayne. They're interested in you, the buyer. So what can I offer you, because I know you're gonna buy it next? They don't care where you are because of where you are at now. I wanna come and do something to you. It's just that, where is the next store? Where can I send you? What can I offer you? Okay,
Totally. Yep.
you have a business next door. I'm gonna offer you their crepes, right? That's what they want. They want us. We're products.
It
Um,
is. Yes, it's true. It's very manipulative. It's very manipulative. It's some of the most. It's like that's part of the reason why the slogan for Culture Shock is what it is. It's we are the product. Because at the end of the day, we're offering you ourselves as the service, the product, the tools. Like we are selling ourselves to you and our capacities to you. So at the end of the day, we are the product. So if we learn that early, we can market ourselves more effectively.
exactly. You can turn it
Yeah,
into your.
absolutely.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was saying that like over the last 2 years, like really having to drive my art forward and advocate for myself and sell books and like show up to the events and do all that stuff. It's you can go into a bookstore and say, here's my books, they're really cool, put them on the shelf and maybe they'll sell, but they're going to look at the books and they're going to say like, this looks like every other book that's coming in that people want to sell and stuff. The X factor is, how do you represent yourself and make yourself a product without like, it's not about selling out, it's about selling to the fullest. And I think that having the opportunity to represent oneself really proudly and push a lot of boundaries and stuff is kind of the advantage that we have with social media and stepping forward.
And also, I'll add that, turn it around so they know everything about you. Well, you can know everything about them. It's all accessible information. There's like statistical data. Who can check your location services? It's an app that has to ask it for permission, and it has to have a good explanation why it wants your location services. So if it's you know uh, drawing app, it shouldn't have to know your location, but they always invent something like, oh yeah, you might need to buy a drawing pen or something. But
Yeah.
turn it around, learn about big data, learn. It's very interesting what you can do by just going online and finding, okay, there's this much of that in this area. How can I sell them?
Ah, okay.
Good
I
perspective.
every Yeah, when this kind of situation presents itself, I'm taken back to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This one, you know how at the end of like whenever you die, they have like a war quote.
Yeah.
So tracers work both ways. That one has always stuck in my head, always, because it's like if you're sending a signal out, if I tap into
Signals
your
coming
signal,
back
I
to
can
you.
trace
Yeah.
it back to you.
Yeah.
True.
So
Yeah,
that's
you,
why
you
when I'm,
also you also just aged yourself, because Modern Warfare is where I stopped playing Call of Duty too.
oh man, I'm telling you, it's one of those things. I don't mind, but like the way I see it right now, I'm turning 40, and we're gonna do a fancy. We're gonna do a fancy. I actually, I'm not. You can't see it because of the way we're set up right now, but I got black lights all over the studio, and we're gonna be doing a black light party for my 40th birthday. So it's gonna be pretty bonkers. I've switched out all of the lights except for the two in the basement, the one in the kitchen, the one in the dining room, and one in the living room. I have 10 black lights in my living room. I got one on the stairs. I got three at my door. I got one on the entrance to my living room. It's gonna be a glowing good time.
That's awesome.
When is the
Yeah,
party?
July 22nd. Are we doing it on the birthday or the Friday of?
Nice.
They're gonna do it on a Saturday, so it's the 20th, July 20th. Sorry, my birthday itself is on the 22nd of July, but the party is gonna be on July 20th, so people don't have the "I gotta go to work" excuse.
We my son's the 29th of July, so we're dealing with
Oh
that. Trying to get everybody from school coordinated midsummer to like get together. It's a challenge. I'm sure you dealt with as a kid.
oh yeah, oh yeah. We didn't really do. I was happy that my daughter was born in February until I got banned from bringing her going to her school because I told off her principal. Um, You see, I like to stand up for what I believe in, and I believe that if I want to bring my daughter cupcakes on her birthday, I should be able to bring my daughter cupcakes on her birthday.
You got
You know what I mean?
cupcake canceled.
I got cupcake canceled. No, I got canceled because I told the principal in front of her staff that when I'm talking to my child, I am still her authority and I supersede her. And then I told her that she only has a job because of his parents. She didn't take too well to that. And then her and 13 other administration left the school that year.
Wow.
Partially because of my.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've noticed the same thing. Like my son's school, it's incredible for, it's a public school. It's great. All the staff school, I've taught there a couple times. But like a large, I guess like carousel of like principals coming and going and teachers coming and going. And, it has a lot to do with like the pressures on the education system, obviously, but it's also like, it's tough for your kids to, because when we were in school, it was like, you'd have one principal and you'd watch them literally like age out, and
Yep.
there's none of that kind of steadfast dependency on like the authority figures anymore, I don't think.
No.
And having these new teachers that some of the teachers are not here to stay, and they know they're temporary, and they don't really care. And then some good teachers that you'd want them to stay move on. It's disruptive for the kids. There should be a system in place. I'm not sure how you can make that happen. Maybe via these cameras, but these kids need someone steady in their environment,
Yeah.
who they trust, and who gives them this sense of advancement. If there's a new guy or new girl every semester, like, nobody cares. Not the teachers, not the kids.
And on one.
Go ahead, David.
No, I've been doing this for like 195 episodes. This is the first time they see you. Go ahead.
I think that like it doesn't come down to like who wants to be there, who doesn't want to be there. I think it comes down to the fact that the flaw with education is in that kids have so much access to information now as is that when they go to school with an old curriculum, they're already like 5 months ahead of it. So it's boring to them. And teachers pick up on that. Yeah, and teachers pick up on that. And then, when a teacher feels defeated because they've got 5 months of trying to like keep bored kids happy ahead of them, it's got to be defeating in itself. So there's like, it comes down to integration of like how to catch kids up quick, how to get everybody on the same page. How do you afford to like provide new opportunities without sticking screens in kids' faces? Like it's a tricky situation. And then the other aspect to it is, a lot of teachers, that I've now had the pleasure of working alongside and dealing with, like you see how much effort and passion they put into past business hours. Like a tattooer puts down his machine, goes home, maybe he draws, maybe he chills, plays video games, whatever, but he's done. He's like off the clock until he sets back up at 11 o'clock the next day. There's a lot of teachers that are going home and they're like taking all of their extra responsibilities, and they're like, and you can get into like the argument of like paid and whatever. Like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm simply talking about like kids are so sharp right now that it's like it's got to be daunting just looking at this like crowd of 30 like shit disturbers that are all just ready to destroy your life, you know, for the next 6 hours. And so like, yeah, I take my hat off to it, but I think like there's got to be something to figure out. Like, and I'm not the person to figure it out, but like definitely, it's just seeing how quick my kids are.
Thinking critically.
That's why
Thinking critically for.
they're expected to motivate and educate and you know, intrigue those kids into following. That's where I was going when I said if they're, you know, if their aim is just to get to the next one because this is a temporary one, then we lose that value in our kids. And I've seen this where you know, people go on mat leave and whatnot, but that generation for that year got in some bad situation because they were watching movies that year and they were not doing things that they were supposed to do because the teacher was not there every week twice, you know, and because she was a sub. And I'm not judging. I don't have the answers, but there's something wrong. Those kids are not getting the value they should be getting in school.
I don't have the answers, but I think I have another conversation point. Okay, let's assume, let's reason, because I don't like making an ass of myself unless I'm getting paid. Let's reason, and handsomely at that. But let's reason that these students are further advanced educationally than we give them credit for because of the advances in technology that they have access to. Right?
Yeah.
Let's further reason that in order to gain their interest, we have to know something they don't already know.
Totally.
Okay. Now, I didn't come up with this, but I was just thinking, okay, like the internet is usually showing something pop culture oriented in order to gather the individual based on the interest that they perceive from their social medias as to be something of interest to them. So we basically have to do the same thing. We have to get to know these students for what they want to know and then show them how to use these search engines and these social media platforms to actually navigate them to the appropriate areas that are beneficial to their longevity. Right? Because right now, they're just, for lack of a better term, wagging their dick in the wind. You know, they're just like, oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. But if you can focus them on saying, hey, if you see this information and follow it down this path, it will take you to this platform, which will show you, you know what I mean, how to advance yourself in this manner, which will benefit you in this regard.
Which comes down to responsible parenting, right? And that, you know, there's a lot of people that leave their kids unchecked consuming this content. I think that like part of the modern parent is like making sure that you're beside your kid, filtering out crap YouTubers versus cool channels. And, you know, like I've told my nephew before, my nephew just turned 18 recently, and like, you know, he's always complaining because it's, oh, my mom's checking this out. And it's like, yeah, until you're 18, like that's our job, is like, even if you're 17 and a half, 17 and 3/4, our job is still to like sit beside you and make sure that like, you know, you're not getting dick pics from Creepazoid Jim in Nantucket, you know?
Even when I was like, she was like 6, 8 years old, and I let her in her room with her stuff. I was walking upstairs to the bathroom one time, and I'll pop in whenever I'm going up there to just make sure. And I see My Little Pony on the screen. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, that's whatever, you know, it's My Little Pony. You ain't go. So I go to the bathroom, and I hear, what the fuck, Twilight Sparkle? And I'm like, what the? Hold on, double back. Are you watching My Little Pony? Yes, Dad. What was that? I mean, you need to change that right now. Although inversely, cable television isn't much better, because around the same age, I remember having a little problem with a monster in her closet. And every kid has a problem with monsters in their closet, right? Okay, fine, whatever. them kids must be watching Caillou, because I went the next day and the TV was on and I saw Caillou with his little bald self. And I don't care what your kid looks like, but this mofo is just the definition of all things shitty child. This guy, he said, I have a monster in my closet, Daddy. First of all, it's monster closet. There's no W in monster, and there's no W in closet. Okay? I know you're supposed to be a kid, but I don't want you teaching my child how to speak it properly.
Speech formation is important.
It really is. It's like that whole. Sometimes you don't get 3 chances to mess up. All right, kid shows. I want to tell you, kid shows out there. You don't always get if you let's say you crossing the road, for example, and you got to get away from an assailant. You might only get 1 chance to check the road before you can run across it. You take a second chance to look, you might not make it across the road. I'm just saying as a hypothetical. Just as a hypothetical.
But you nailed it. You nailed it on the head. So they would need content streamlining and classification, because if you expose the kids to interesting stuff, to scientific podcasts, to maybe some do-it-yourself stuff, they're gonna be much more mesmerized with it than watching these. No offense, guy talking about how funny it is that the rabbit's leg it's bending this way. I was a bit offended. There was a colleague here for drinks, and he was like, "Let's watch this show," and I was like, "What is it about?" Well, this guy, in this room with these animals, and like, and like, okay, what's the value? What is the value? Ask your kid, what is the value? What you're getting? Learn something every day. If you're watching TV for 5 hours, you might as well know how things work, right?
Totally.
Yep. All right. Well, we are at about the halfway mark of this segment.
I'm going to find out then.
All right. Thank you for joining us, Alex Morales. Where can people find you? BobIsYourUncle.ca.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And all the best to you, gentlemen. All the best to your listeners. Take care, and just reinvent yourself endlessly.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, so we're at about the halfway mark of this segment, and usually what I like to do is flip the script. So when I flip the script, I give the guest the opportunity to be the host and make whatever statements they have and ask whatever questions they may have. So, Doug, you have the floor as we flip the script.
Well, let's see what we can do with this. Well, my name is Doug Knight. For anybody that doesn't know me, I am a legally blind illustrator. I am from north of Toronto. I've got a couple comic books, mostly dealing with my experience as a childhood cancer survivor, and then, experiences in the hospital. I've got a book, Super Wicked White Cell Squadron, that I've got designed to get into children's hospitals. It's been a really successful year with that, and I've made some great connections through kind of networking and crowdfunding campaigns and stuff. And I'm also the recipient of the Project Circulation Grant from the Ontario Art Council, which has allowed me to, set up a pretty crazy tour schedule for this year for getting my art out there, working events, shaking hands, meeting people, selling books. And the event that I met you at, David, was the listening party for Danny O's 6th studio album, Vigilante, which I got the privilege of doing the album art for. So it's kind of been like this crazy whirlwind where as how to surpass the imposter of becoming a professional creative, vibe goes. It's like, at one point I was kind of just figuring out how to push books and do something. And then another opportunity opened up, and now I'm kind of like really full steam ahead on a bunch of really cool stuff. And again, getting opportunities to talk to cats like you and expand horizons, and it's just like networking and opportunity creation,
Yeah, I really like going back to the Vigilante album. I like the fact that you guys kept it hip hop. And when I say kept it hip hop, I mean like the artwork, the book, the inserts, the graphics, the vibe, the music, the tone, the atmosphere. Everything was just like Toronto, like it just said Toronto hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
It was just I can only describe it as that. It was just, you know what I mean, everybody giving respects to each other, the people we spoke to, and the interviews that we did, and yeah, man, just being out there and being able to absorb that energy was next level. So how did you feel when you saw all of those people like hovering around your artwork and appreciating it for what you created it for?
I think the most surreal, because again, I'm at that point now where it's like I'm always at a show, so I kind of like always feel like everybody's always looking at my stuff. So
Yeah.
I think the atmosphere being something completely different is what made it so special. I had this moment where like, because my vision is so, like, just a little sidebar, because my vision is so poor, when I'm in a dark environment that's loud, I'm dead to the world. Like nothing is like computing to me. So like seeing what's going on around me, I just kind of try to fuzz out and focus on like the easy thing to deal with centrally. So when I was listening to the music that Daniel was playing for everybody, it was cool because like I had all this music in my brain. I guess 4 or 5 months ago when I was creating all the artwork, maybe longer, I'm not sure. And so like it was kind of cool because it was triggering like these moments of like when I had a different like epiphany for the artwork, or when I like locked in on colors, or when I was sketching, like everything kind of hit differently. So it was really cool
Mhm.
being in a live environment, seeing everybody share in like the same experience as me, but obviously separated from it, because it was special for them. Um,
Mm.
so I think it was like, it's just really cool seeing how like synergy works amongst creative people. Like when Dan and I first spoke, it was through a connection. Like it was like he was looking for an illustrator. I was a recommendation from the husband of my former boss at the tattoo shop that I apprenticed at. So you're talking like 6 degrees of Kevin
Wow.
Bacon, right? So like
Yeah.
it's like this crazy like spider web of just like meeting people through people, and you never know. And we had a conversation, and it was like, I said straight up, man, I really like your message, I like what you're doing. I was like, I don't believe in burning bridges. If you don't want to move forward with me as the artist, that's totally okay with me. It's been a pleasure talking. Always feel free to reach out to me again. And that's kind of what happened. Was he found somebody else he was working with, and he messaged me one day, and he's like, hey, are you free? Do you want to chat? Like, I got to run something by you. And like the long and short of it was that like he wasn't getting what he needed from the other illustrator. And so when he came to me, there was like this real like quick click thing where it's like, I said, listen, man, I'll do you 3 pencil sketches. You're going to tell me which vibe you like of which one. And then I'm not going to talk to you for a couple days. And then you're going to get the inks. And then when you're cool with that, we're going to move to colors. And honestly, the only thing, like, we had to adjust colors on a sweatshirt, and that was about it. Other than that, it was just
Mm.
like such a cool, smooth working process once we were dialed in with one another. That's just kind of, that's what it is. It's like it's a good the way that like collaborations work. It's not just like just strictly music and strictly art. Like this is truly like, I feel like the album art is just this like electric personification of the attitude that he put into the music on the album. So it's really cool to
Mm.
kind of be the flag bearer for all the talent that's on that record.
Hmm. And that is amazing, just to see the level of humility that you have. I mean, even though we're talking about you, you have him to talk about, and you know what I mean, the other people that are a part of it. So while we're on that line, who else would you accredit for? I want to say supporting you in your endeavors.
I mean, it's got to go to mom and dad first. When I was a little dude in the hospital, I remember very clearly sitting in the oncology, ward at sick kids, and
Hmm.
my parents were talking to my oncologist, and they're just like, "What do we do?" And very nice guy, Dr. Mark Greenberg. He said, "Normalize. If he wants to play hockey, put him in hockey. He wants to ride a skateboard, put him on a skateboard. Let him draw. Let him just live the life that everybody else is living." And so that's what my parents did. They encouraged me. They've
Hmm.
had my back. When I said I want to learn how to tattoo, my dad was the first person to jump into the chair and let me practice on him. And and it's from there it was friends that would support me and come see my show and buy my books, and you know, and then obviously the next one is the best friend that I married, you know, and without like, you know, you go on the road for shows and stuff, so you know that when you're on the road, like if it's not 100% at home, you're stressed, you know, and so like when I have to go to Indiana or Edmonton or, you know, Connecticut, like, you know, I'm doing a lot of like farther reach trips, and it's for 4 or 5 days at a time. And so like, you know, you get these moments where like you miss everybody so bad, but you know that like the kids are having fun and that like you're going to go home to smiles, you know, and like without having that kind of like backbone to come home to, like it's I can't imagine how stressful that would be. So so it's cool having somebody that like is just as supportive of me chasing my dreams to set the example for our kids also. So and then beyond that, it's everybody else that I've learned from, tattooers and artists and illustrators, and you know, that like it's been a whole bunch of people that I've taken wisdom from and applied it to, you know, living life Doug style.
All right, living life Doug style. I like that. I like that. Oh man. So when's your next event? What do you got on the agenda coming up?
Oh man, tomorrow I've got the tomorrow and Friday I'm at Raw Artist Glitch. That's at Parkdale Hall. So I'm going to be there 7 till 11 o'clock, and you know, selling art, comic books. Got some cool original paintings that I'm going to have up on the sales block. And then after that, end of the month, I'm in Buffalo for Nickel City Comic Con. And then after that, I'm at VonCon. And then I'm going to Terrificon in Connecticut. And then I think in September, I'm going to Edmonton for Fan Expo. So I've got some cool stuff coming up.
That is epic. Are you going to Niagara Falls Comic Con?
That was the last weekend. I really wanted to. But when I was booking when I was setting up my schedule, I kind of got to like Niagara Falls versus Buffalo. I did Nickel City. It's the same promoter that does the shows. And so I did Nickel City last year. I really want to, I kind of believe in touching base like 2 times in a market so people can see how much growth you have over the year. Gets them like super hyped on you. So I'm going to do Buffalo again this year and then aim for Niagara Falls next year. I really wanted to do Hamilton this year as a different like major Ontario city, but unfortunately that's at the same weekend as Edmonton. So kind of, you know, it's just as important to do that trip back out to Alberta to try to, you know, diversify and get into some more shops and stuff too. So
I'm sitting here. I'm like, I'm 6'5", about 275. But if you got a costume, like an original costume or something that's not, you know, I mean, I'll put that costume on for you and act it out. I'm sure Lady Strange wouldn't mind putting on a female costume as well or something like that. I don't care, bro.
Yeah, I actually have a cool story about that, man. I've got a project that I'm working on with another YouTube channel called The RP Show, and it's 2 dudes that experienced blindness later on in life. And so now they're like super proactive. One of them is from England, and he'll post a selfie from like the British Isles, like because he's kayaking, and like this guy, like he's got extraordinarily limited vision. So we're creating a comic book character called the Tubiac Maniac that's like Ultimate Warrior meets Shazam.
Oh man.
And it's all about just like empowering kids to shamelessly and like fear, you know, with complete confidence use their accessibility devices. You know, and in doing that, we're like, I'm writing everything so it's like 33% larger than like your average comic, so they can unlock more readability for other low vision individuals and stuff. So we've got a lot of cool things going into it. But the other dude who's from Connecticut, he's like, man, I can't draw. He's like, but I'm really good at lifting stuff. So he's working his ass off to try to like get super jacked by the midsummer so that he can like cosplay as the character that we're drawing. So it's kind of fun, man.
All right.
I'm sure we could slap you in some white spandex and call you a squadron member.
Hey, man. Hey, like I said, I'll start working out from now.
You don't even have to, man. I'm all about inclusivity. If you got a little bit of, I don't have love handles. I got hate grips. You know,
hate grips. Oh man. Look, I'll go as I am. I just know I could be better than the way I sit. So,
I got you.
But that's dope, though. That's dope. Like, And I already got green screen here, man. So like, if you want to do action, if you want to talk action comic and stuff, let's talk, bro. Let's talk. Let's talk. I want to see things happen, man, and I know that I can contribute to more than what I'm doing. So even if it's just a little splash here, a little splash there, what they say it's better to have. It's better to gain to what is it? Better to gain from the work of 10,000 than it is to work on your own. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you
I
need
haven't heard
music
that,
or
but
something,
I agree. Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know what I mean? Like I myself might be able to go out and get 100, right? But if I find 100 people and we put together, we might be able to get 10,000, right?
Totally. Yep,
Right?
absolutely.
So,
Oh, I tell
and
people all the time, like when I'm networking and stuff, like, I'll give the sales speech and it's like, if like if you get to the end of the rainbow and you realize that this person doesn't want to drop the 10 to 50 or whatever like price point is, I'll tell them flat out, I'm like, a follow on social means just as much as anything else, because when we're growing, any step forward is a positive step, so it's like just being perceptive to being accepting of however people want to help is so important.
it's true. Like my producer friends helping me by sending me a picture of Samuel Allen Jackson. At which point, my only appropriate response would be, "Motherfucker!"
That guy's like mid 80s, eh?
Yeah,
Like
that's
if
crazy.
you watch if you watch him in the Marvel movies, I guess he was very clear about, like, he's like, I'm not running, I am not jumping. Yeah, I'll be grumpy and I will shoot stuff, and that is all you're gonna get out of me. And it's so funny. You go watch any of the latest stuff, and it's just like your knees hurt watching him.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
But he
Oh, but
brings it.
he brings it. He's legendary. I remember my daughter got like she picked my costume one time, and I've often said, and I'll go on record and say, I am the Nick Fury of Niagara region. No one else can take that away from me because I do the things, man. Like I find the people, I give them the artillery they need, and then I just watch them become amazing or
Yeah, man.
spectacular or ultimate. You know what I mean? So I say that, and my daughter said she wanted me to be Nick Fury one year. She was like in kindergarten or some shit like that. So I had hair at the time. I had I had more hair at the time, anyways, and I had my full beard, everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like for the week, I'm stitching an eye patch. I find my leather coat. I dust it off. You know what I mean? I get ready. She goes to school. I'm daddy. Well, she's coming into the camera now.
I didn't know he was gonna go bald.
She didn't know I was gonna shave all my hair. She didn't know I was gonna cut the beard into a goatee. So she gets off the bus and she is there like she started bawling. Oh my gosh, it was the funniest thing. She started bawling as she got off the bus. She's like,
Yeah,
"That's
you're not my daddy."
Dad. Yep. It was great. Ever since then, she's. Oh man. Oh. Yeah. Yep. It happens every time I cut my hair. But yeah.
That's
oh
funny.
man, that perm. You know what I find funny about perms though? It'll straighten curly hair, but it curls straight hair.
I wouldn't know,
Like-
man. I've got like, so the other day I was explaining to a student that like I don't grow an afro, I grow a half row. And
Oh, no.
and he's like, what's that? I said, it's real loose and it grows up and like doesn't fluff out. So like it's half an afro. Like it doesn't know what it wants to do, but it's not pretty. And then so he's like, so like what else? It's like I call it the Afro Viking. I got like the tight curls on the chin, but they grow out in like two different directions. So I've got like a real mixed bag of nuts in terms of hair consistency.
Oh man.
My sister's had the luck with like the like thick curls and stuff. My hair's just like loose, and I mean it's still on my head, so I can't complain. I'm feeling pretty good not being bald. But the like never having like a cool shape or anything was like the bane of my existence growing up. I just end up looking like a scruffy caveman.
Oh man. Oh gosh, this guy came with it. This Scruffy came with it. It was so hard to manage my hair. Like it was anywhere from like if I was just putting it up, half an hour, maybe.
Yeah,
If I was actually going out, like I had to spend like a good fifth, like gosh, at least 45 minutes to 2 hours at combing it, fucking greasing it, then combing it again, then sometimes blow drying it, and then getting it to get that nice little that big boy look, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And then
yeah, yeah,
combing it again.
yeah.
Just,
But then like,
just
but so like, how many times did you do that and realize that you didn't have the right shirt on? You had to change your shirt.
oh, I don't even want to have that conversation right now, fam. I don't even want to have that. Because once you pull the shirt off, the whole hair is done. The hair is done. It
Yeah,
takes
man.
and then there was a. You remember when you do all that, and then you forgot to turn your do rag the right
Again,
way, so the
no,
lines
not
that.
for me because I just put a ball cap on and I was set.
You see, nah, man, I had to put a do rag on top of that piece, and I had to make sure the seam was facing outwards because if it was facing inwards, not only would I have the line in my forehead, but it would crease the damn hair, so it wouldn't have that nice little, you know, that little tut tut that you get. The tut tut,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about this, ladies and gentlemen. This Candid Conversations, episode 195. What's what? What's what?
Yeah. No, it's you know, it's like it's crazy because it's like especially now, like seeing like more mixed families, you know,
Yeah.
like my cousin, she's a little bit older than you, like I think she's 42, 43, and she's the oldest mixed person that I ever knew, right? And like when my parents moved my family to like a small town, northern
Hmm.
Ontario, I'll never forget the first day of school. Like I went from Richmond Hill to this town, and kid walked up to me. I was wearing an Emmett Smith jersey. He's like, "Yo, like you like hip hop?" I remember thinking to myself, like, "Why the fuck is he targeting me? Like, why does he think I like hip hop?" And then I realized that, like, as light as I am, I'm probably the darkest thing that this kid's seen at the school, right? And like really, it was a trip to like form my experience of like not being in a like ethno diverse area, you know. But then like growing up, I look Guatemalan more than I do anything else, right? So like it's always kind of been
Watermelon.
like interesting because you know, I was raised with like I got hit for speaking disrespectfully no matter which direction it was, right? If it was the N word, I
Uh-huh.
got cuffed. If it was anything else, I got cuffed. So you know, it's just kind of developing this like respect for everything and you know, not really like it's weird now when someone is like when someone puts the mantle of like BIPOC on me as an artist and stuff because I'm just like I you know like it is what I am, but it's still a weird thing for me to embrace, you know. So
Hmm.
I remember one of my cousin came like we'd have like pool parties and stuff at my parents' place, and my cousin came over one day, and because we were listening to like you know punk rock and stuff, I'll never forget. She's like, oh, all you guys listen to is white people music, and I was like, that's kind of a fucked up thing to say. You know, like it was so funny because it was like, you know, my cultural experience when I was a kid was my dad would take me to the barber shop. Like we were laughing today because I remember watching the OJ car chase in the barber chair, and all
Oh
the
man.
Bajans and trainees were like putting money down and like betting on if you get caught and who did it and stuff, and like, and that was like high drama. It was just like watching everybody argue over OJ, you know?
Yep. Oh man, I remember that. I think I was at home after school trying to watch like either Flintstones or Power Rangers or some shit. And
Yeah.
I could, I
We bring
could,
you live now to
you know what I mean? Like I was like, yeah, finally the trial's over. Sit down, click on the TV. You know what I mean? Finally got the TV back from my mom, and then that news kicks on. I'm like, no, no,
yeah.
no! Oh my gosh. Oh, R.I.P. There we go. Oh man, yo, this power bank is serious. I put this power bank on to charge my watch when I started the podcast an hour and a half ago, and now it has not only charged my phone, but kept my phone going for the whole podcast, but it kept my watch charged.
It's important to
Let's
bring those. I
go.
bring two with me to every event.
Yes, yes. Because you never know, man. You never know when that power source is gonna fail or when you're gonna need that extra juice.
Nope, today's day and age, you got like I take payments digitally. I got my phone, I got my watch, I got my headphones, I got everything. You need to have
Yep.
that juice on you.
Yeah. We gotta bring you down to the region as well. I think I'm gonna have to do like a show where we have like a vendor show where we have performances or something.
Yeah, that would
I'm
be
gonna have
cool.
to, yeah.
Yeah, because you're in Niagara, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think there's definitely some shops and stuff that I want to link up with it that way. So
All
when
right.
I've got like I'm playing with the idea of trying to set up like a week like tour to see how many shops I can hit up and stuff. So I think that would be kind of a cool thing to work into the mix. So hanging out with
Well,
you.
I mean, if you try to save a couple bucks on lodging, like we've housed people here before, so
Sick.
you know what I mean. Instead of like, cause the prices out here for fucking hotels are stupid.
Crazy.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's why we always, yeah, man. So you know what I mean. Like if you're coming down for a weekend or a week, it's whatever.
Yeah, amazing. We're Great Wolf Lodge people. So it's
Okay.
every twice a year, it's one of those things where it's like everybody's excited, and then after 2 days,
Yeah.
they're kind of over it, and I'm kind of over it, and then like you forget about it, and then you sign back up for it, 9 months later. But
Yeah.
it's worth it for the smiles.
I could never seem to I either hear about it after the fact
Mhm.
or I hear about it and I just can't do it. Like when I can do it, I hear about it after, and when I can't do it, I hear about it. It's like
Yeah. I got you.
you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's cool, man. It's again like we were talking about earlier with the support system, like and I don't know, 10 minutes I got to be on the road so that we can get to an ice cream event, but like the just
Okay.
prioritizing time with the family and having the like those experiences, like it's everything, and making sure the kids have smiles and
Oh yeah.
like it's I asked a lady at a shop the other day where the nearest coffee shop is, and she tried giving me some suggestions. She goes and she looks at her counterpart and she says, "Do you know anything?" The girl looks at me, she goes, "Maybe you can try not to be addicted to caffeine." And I was like, I got flared up, man. I was like, maybe you can try working 3 jobs and being a creative with a family, right? And she's like, oh, but obviously there's no point coming back to it because it was it's a belligerent statement for somebody that like
Mhm.
doesn't really care what your opinion is.
Yeah.
But like, I've got another cool opportunity to go for a residency for 2 weeks to progress some projects in October. And like, as cool as it is, like I've got to figure out the semantics of how much of that I can participate in, because like, right now my job is being a full-time creative dad, like it's a matter of like providing, and then still like this is the time where I got to do my art between like midnight and 3 in the morning because the kids get priority while the sun's shining. So
Yeah, that you know what? That's respectable. I had to tell my daughter one time, it's like, you know what? You get 16 hours out of my day. You know, you get 16 hours. I gotta sleep for 8. You know, I'm not doing that. I might get 3, 4 hours of sleep. But if
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
I was gonna
have
say
at
I'll
least,
settle for 4.
you know what I mean? If I don't get at least an hour to do what I need to do for me, an hour to 3 to do what I need to do for me, then I won't be able to do what you need me to do for you.
Oh yeah.
So, but then I realized I wasn't using as much of my day as I could have been.
Mhm.
So it's like I started waking up mad early. I used to sleep till like 10, 11, 11,
Yeah.
12 o'clock. But like then I started waking up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. It's like there's a monk hitting a gong. Like we can't
Yeah.
talk. We must summon one who can speak the words we cannot. Bong him. You know?
I get like when I'm max productivity, it's like I'll do like the work day and then
Yeah.
come home, take the kids to the park, dinner, go to the gym, come home by like 11, and then I get like a strong 2 hour like burst of like flow. And then I crash and then I'm up at like 6 basically. And that's those are like the perfect days. But then like traveling, I never realized like how much traveling takes out of you. The last couple of weeks I
Yep.
was in Pennsylvania and then Ottawa, and like the whole time I'm with family and I'm hustling, and then I realized I haven't been to the gym in 2 weeks. So like even when you're away at a hotel, you're like, okay, I'm gonna hit the treadmill, and you run on the treadmill, and you're like, okay, I did good. But then you're like dog shit tired the next day for work, you know. So it's such a crazy balance to like get back on track. And then as soon as I'm ready to go back to the gym, I realize that I've got an event tomorrow that I have to plan for. I've got 3 more books that I have to edit by midnight tonight so I can get them printed in time by I get to Buffalo. So it's
Oh
the
my
mad dash, man.
gosh. Yo, listen, may all the good you do find you where you are, sir. You
It
understand me?
will, man. It
As,
will for sure.
just as long as you believe it to.
Hell yeah.
So, knowing that you have like 4 minutes to go, is there anyone that you want to shout out before you head out?
Everybody, man. Everybody that's bought my books over the last year, everybody that's supported my art, everybody that's come out to see me at events, you know, all the incredible shop vendors and store owners that I've met and that have invited me to events over the last year. My buddy Omar, who's running Wayside Comics and Cocktail Lounge in Newmarket, that guy's like a godsend for indie comics. You know, he's running some cool events, and I got to participate in a few of them. You know, the powerful Mike Ruth has been essential in giving me some incredible, you know, cautionary tales over the last couple months, and you know, Danny O for shouting me out and giving me the cool opportunity to do some album art. You know, like I think it's everybody that's kind of been in the orbit. Like I've just been in the orbit of everybody lately, and I think that, you know, just the support, all the support, man. Follow every new follower, everything, every new sale, every new person that has something good to say to me. The students that I've got to teach recently, you know, it's all been an incredible whirlwind, and starts with the home where I get to feed kids ice cream and smile and laugh.
Hmm. Well, that's that's a good way to sum it up. That's a good way to sum it up. So
Think
we will
so,
do
man.
that. Yes, we'll do that. And we will call this a close for Doug Knight of CrossEye Comics. Check out at CrossEye Comics on Instagram. Add up, do the thing. And
Yeah, if you
know what I
if
mean?
you want to check out support or buy some of my products, whatever, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/CrossEyeComics, and that's how I'm setting up my online shop and stuff. Otherwise,
Oh,
any interviews and stuff you want to see with me, hop on my link tree on Instagram, and I've got connections to all that stuff too.
all right, there we go. So on behalf of Exco Levi, Alex Maras, and Doug Knight, the triple header has been completed. All parties were involved, all parties participated, and your boy hit a new plateau. So, not a new plateau, a new peak. Bless up, we out.